Hey guys, this is Ramble. Thought I'll give a quick review and quick ramble on this courtesy bike. I have the Yamaha YBR 125. Something you should bear in mind, my usual bike is a CBR 125, so you know they're two fairly different bikes. Obviously they share engine capacity, but they're built for different purposes. That's pretty easy to start off with saying that this bike does everything you'd expect it to do for, you know, just a standard commuter type bike, and it's not unattractive while doing it either. This particular version has the fairings on the side of the fuel tank, as you can see down there, and not a round headlight, kind of like a prism triangle headlight, which I much prefer to the round and square ones you can find on older bikes, and the round ones especially you find on nakeds or half nakeds like this. Yeah, so style wise, quite a fan. Other pros, yeah, fuel economy is ridiculous. You know, you're talking 70-80 mpg plus standard, even if you ride like a right twat. You know, and the fuel tank that itself's fairly large, I'd say, for a 125 anyway, at least from my experience. It's 13 litres. The CBR's is 10, but you know, that gives it, especially with the you know, MPG we're talking for a bike like this, for a YBR, just an absolutely astonishing tank range. You're into several hundred miles. Right, let's see how the YBR holds up on dual carriageways. We'll keep going uphill at least. That's nice. $60 uphill is not bad at all, actually. By some miracle, my wing mirrors haven't folded yet. Whatever happened. $65. Feels very stable actually at this speed, which is quite surprising. I thought it would lose some stability. The suspension seems to be holding its own. Almost 70. So very nearly almost, but not quite. Yeah, you know, it's very fit for purpose. It'll get you around town and you won't look like an atrocious twat while doing it, unless you're wearing a Honda CBR jacket like I am on a Yamaha motorcycle. Then you look like a bit of a knob. Yeah, I'll move on to cons. Some of them will be specific to this particular bike, this courtesy bike, and you should always bear in mind I'm going to be a bit biased against it. You know, I don't hate it, it's just uninteresting to me. There's nothing about it that screams out fun, you know. It's not particularly fast, it's not particularly loud, both things I like in a bike. The gears, everything about the gears feels wrong. You know, there's only 5 of them. I'm used to a 6-geared bike, I prefer 6 gears. And you know, it's got the same problem just about every 125 under the sun does, especially 4-strokes. You know, you're changing gear like once every 2 or 3 seconds. It's ridiculous. But I found it even more so on this bike than I have on mine. You know, and that's not even getting that fast. It feels like you need to be in 5th by the time you reach 30, really, which just seems ridiculous, frankly, in my opinion anyway. I mean, I know you're going to get that kind of weird final drive and gear separation, you're going to get it like that on any 125, but just the extent of it on this bike is excessive. Personal problems I've had, my foot does not fit under the gear lever correctly, because it's positioned a bit funny. It's almost flat to the foot peg, like the same kind of height as the foot peg, which makes it a real pain in the ass to get underneath. And I personally, I don't know if this is true, someone who's a bit shorter or with smaller feet, I have to move my entire left leg upwards like that, and then it does that. I'll talk more about that in a minute, just to change gear, which is a real pain in the ass, frankly. Yeah, also, as you saw back there, it went straight into neutral between first and second, probably because I've had trouble with it because my foot doesn't fit very well underneath it. But even when I think I've done like just a completely natural shift, it still has a habit of doing that, and it will also register neutral when in gear as well, which means I've stalled it like 3 times, which is particularly embarrassing when you're trying to park in front of about 4 other bikers on their BMW like fucking GS's, and you're there on your little YBR that you then immediately stall. So yeah, also on this particular bike, the wing mirrors are not staying in position. This is not like, you know, oh, I haven't screwed them on tight enough. This is the joints, like there, aren't holding position well. Wish people would pay more attention before they did that. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's just specific to this one because it's a courtesy bike and they appear not to take much care of it. I had to readjust the clutch earlier. The chain is just loose, you can feel it, but I'm not going to fuck with the chain. I'm not going to give them any reason to make me pay for anything. You know, I'd usually filter a bit more than that, but I'm not going to do it while I'm talking because I'll look like a right twat and fuck something up. Yeah, so pros and cons of it. Overall, it's, you know, a bike fit to purpose. You know, it's like the, I don't know, Ford Fiesta of motorbikes, well, 125s especially. You're a twat, you know that. I know you're going left, are you? Cool. You better be going left, mate. Yeah, it literally is the Ford Fiesta of motorbikes. It doesn't do anything special. It'll get you from A to B. At least it doesn't look stupid while doing it, but it's not going to be fun. Or, you know, what I would consider fun, anyway. But it's a perfectly valid option for a starter bike, or even just, you know, something to get around town, and especially if you live somewhere. Kind of like here where the traffic's a fucking nightmare. Or, I don't know, London probably. You know, so... Right, I can get a bit more over here, can't I? So yeah, overall, not a fan. I mean, it's just a bit too boring for me. Also I remember issues I've had. Fucking steering lock doesn't work half the bloody time. The kickstand doesn't work on my driveway because it's too sloped. It's not even that sloped. I mean, my sports bike can stay upright on it, but this can't. Also, not as far as I can tell, there's no under-seat storage, which is a real pain in the arse. Right, there should be a cash machine down here somewhere.